What's up guys, theBolderBoulder here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my new Vortixx Bionicle MOC. This guy's name is Bradōn, the Brute. Alright, so here is Bradōn, the Brute. But before I move on with the rest of the review, I want to let you guys know that this is my 100th video, and that I currently have over 300 subscribers here on YouTube. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching all of my videos, clicking that like button, subscribing, and leaving good comments and suggestions and everything. Just want to thank you guys so much for all that, and you guys have really helped me get this far. And I'm thankful for the positive comments that you guys have left on some of my previous videos, but I can't take all the glory because it's God's. He gave me the ability to do this kind of stuff, and I give God all of the glory that I received, because it all belongs to Him. It's because of Him that I have the abilities to do things like this. And I think this turned out pretty well, so I did my best for the Lord. So, now let's go on with the review. So, I will give you guys a 360 view of this dude. Alright, so here's a view of the back. This guy has a lot of details and a lot of parts. And as you can see, he's very bulky and massive. This guy took me quite a few hours to make, actually. Over the course of a few days, I wanted to make sure it was the best I could do, and I wanted you guys to like it. And like I said, I think it turned out pretty well. It was definitely worth the time to create it. And also, one more thing I would like to mention is that I actually got inspiration for Bradōn's head from LabDG. I believe I'm pronouncing his username correctly. I actually got the inspiration from his head to use the Hero Factory piece on the head like that. Here, a little bit close up. It was actually pretty simple, and thankfully he let me use the design. The head isn't completely the same as his Vortixx MOC called Cosmo, but you can still see a similarity between it, and that's adding that Hero Factory piece, because I think that really seems to fit in with this design, and it looks pretty cool, in my opinion. So, I'm very appreciative that you let me use that design, LabDG. And I really do hope I'm pronouncing your username correctly. Let me know if I am or not. So, now I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about the actual guy. As you can see, he's very massive. Get you a little bit close up of what he looks like. And as you would definitely notice, look at all these tubes all over his body. And those tubes actually pump power throughout his entire body, and that's what gives him his immense strength. Well, of course, he is strong without the power being pumped through his body, but still. it gives him such immense strength that he was actually known as one of the strongest Vortixx in existence. And he is more of a brawler than a person who uses weapons. He prefers to use his fists and fighting techniques because he is so powerful. He wants to use that to his advantage. He's a very protective Vortixx and will take on anybody who wants to face him, no matter their size or who they are. Back on his home island of Zaya, he never really killed anybody because he would never kill his own kind. And, well, he really doesn't like to kill. He likes to beat up his opponents and make them suffer, but he's not much of a killer. But he is definitely a fighter. And he'll do anything to protect himself and anybody else he feels the need to protect. So he's definitely not one to be messed with. Never toil with this guy. But if he ever does get into a situation where he needs to use weapons, he uses his dark blade. And these pieces right here on the side are a hand guard to protect his hand from being hit when he's in a battle. He doesn't really have a shield because, well, he's so massive, he can take a hit. And then he can just plow his opponents over and beat them to a pulp. So no one ever messed with this guy. Or ever will. So, on this guy, once again, the feet were probably one of the most complicated things to create and took the longest to make. And it really doesn't look like anything I've ever seen on a Vortixx MOC or anything. And it did take a while on the feet alone. Which I say about every other Vortixx that I've made, because really, that is one of the toughest parts to create, in my opinion. And it is because, well, you gotta get it right. You gotta make it look cool. Or, in this case, I wanted them to look big and bulky because he's a really big and bulky character. And, one thing, if you're wondering why these pieces right here are blue, those aren't his eyes. That's actually just visible energy from that's going through his body, and they glow whenever the energy is pumping through his body to make him super strong. And his body doesn't really get any larger when the power pumps through. He just becomes so much stronger that he can just pretty much destroy anything or take down anyone that gets in his way. So, I don't really have that much of a backstory for this guy, but just looking at him, there's so many little details and things. I just want to point out some of the different things. So in the torso, there is a lot of detail on there. I've got spikes on his shoulders. I've got lots of Technic and Bionicle pieces and elements and everything all over. So let's get a little bit closer to his body. Look from the side, I'll move his arm. Added a lot of parts in here to really bulk him up. Added a lot of parts back here to cover up any areas that looked like they would be open or vacant or anything. And I've got these tubes all over through here. Got one going through his body, which goes to his torso to make his torso muscles super strong. And on his back, it goes to his arms, and that makes his arm muscles super strong. And then from that same area right in here, it pumps power to his legs, which they become super strong. And then I added some of these suspension parts, I guess. I'm not exactly sure what to call them, but they're mainly used for large sets from Lego or Titans and stuff. Since this guy is big and there's a lot of weight from all the pieces and stuff, he needed some extra support, and it really adds to the bulkiness of the figure as well. So it really works for this guy. And personally, I think it even adds to more intimidation and everything too. And the hands are custom made. They're pretty much like a basic design I've used for other MOCs, but I really like it, so I used it on this guy as well. And on the lower arm, I've got some little pieces right here. The back of the arm, got a lot of Technic and Bionicle parts in there to cover up, make it look more complete. And same thing with the legs. If you want to get a little bit closer look at it, added a lot of parts in there to cover up. And on the back of the legs, I added more parts in there to fill it up and make it look more muscular, add more mass. So now I'll give you another close look at what the feet look like, where it's connected to the upper leg to the back of his foot for all that support. So please let me know what you think of this MOC down in the comment section below. Are there any areas you think I could have improved, or do you think it looks alright? If there's anything at all you would like me to improve or anything, please let me know. And if you have any suggestions for any kinds of MOCs, I will try to take them into consideration. I read every single comment I get and every single message I get on any of my pages. So please be sure to check out my Facebook page, because I'm going to have some exclusive photos of this guy up on there. And on my Blogspot page, I've got my stories, and I'm going to have a post about this guy as well. So, see you guys again. Have a great day. Bye.